Hey everybody, I'm just still at work. I'm getting ready to leave soon. I'm running an errand for one of my patients. I just wanted to make this quick video because it's been on my mind lately. I feel like people need to hear this. So I'm just going to say it because I know this all too well myself. So here it goes. Sometimes we don't do things that we really want to do because we're afraid that other people will know that we want to do them. Let that register and marinate in your brain for a little while. Or I can just explain. Like, for example, and I don't usually do this, but lately I've been doing this, even though, because it's like now or never. I very rarely find people attractive. And so I don't like to miss an opportunity when I do. Now, of course, I look like garbage. I'm not in a good place in life, whatever. But, for example, I'm at Madison Stop and Shop right now. I had to pick something up for my patient. And I see this beautiful girl who looks around my age but could be a lot younger. And she's foreign. She's got an accent. I thought maybe she was Russian or Ukrainian or something. She's Albanian. And her name was Nurtila. And crystal blue eyes, black hair, pale white skin, beautiful. So I just talked to her in the grocery line. She was the clerk. And I'm like, hey, that's a cool accent. I said, German, Russian. She's like, Albanian. I'm like, I thought it was somewhere in there. And she's like, yeah, European. I'm like, oh, so you're new here, I see. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, huh. I'm like, well, today's my 42nd birthday. I was like, I'm probably going to say you're probably around, 25 or whatever. She's like, 36. I'm like, close to me. That's good. I'm like, so did you and your husband or family, move here recently to America? She's like, I came here by myself recently. I'm like, no husband? She's like, nope. I'm like, no kids? Nope. I'm like, wow. I'm like, that's a bold move to come all the way out here to America by yourself. And she just smiled. So I left, and then something told me, you know what, don't miss an opportunity. You wanted to, so it's probably not going to go anywhere. Meanwhile, there's this really good-looking guy in line right behind me, a really good-looking 6-foot-something, 20-something, 30-something-year-old, probably construction worker, just really good-looking, right? Tall, skinny, athletic, Abercrombie model. So I go back in, I got to check my lotto tickets anyway, they were all losers. And I just gave her my number and my name and number and whatever, right? Email address. And she smiled. Because I heard, while I'm writing it, I hear this guy flirting with her. And I'm like, that's the kind of guy she deserves and should be with. They'd make beautiful children and, whatever. But I'm like, you know what? Whatever. He didn't, he was obviously interested, but he didn't leave her his number, so I did. It's probably not going to happen. But you know what? I am tired of... I don't think I'm ever going to be in religious life again. That's really where my heart is set, but I don't see it being possible anymore. So I don't want to be single the rest of my life. Maybe it's time that I find the right one and settle down and get married. And so I am already 42, and I know that I'm not the greatest looking thing, and I don't have the best health, and I don't have really much to offer, but that won't matter to the right God-ordained woman. So until I find her, I guess I'm just going to have to... Because they certainly don't ever approach me. And I can see why. Especially with seems like there's a lot of good-looking single guys out there now. But that doesn't mean they're going to be religious. And it doesn't mean they're going to be nice to you. It doesn't mean that they're marriage material. So remember that, ladies, when you're looking for good-looking guys, beauty does fade. And a lot of them are jerks. Because they know what they've got and they just go through you like water, I could have blown these guys out of the water 20 years ago, and I did, and now I can't. So, whatever, it happens, Age happens to all of us if we're lucky. So, anyway, I gave the girl my number, whatever. I don't even know why. She's probably like, ew, and she probably threw it away. But you know what? You never know. I leave it up there, and I leave it up to God. Otherwise, I am looking for the right one. I just don't know who that could be. But I am tired of putting myself down. People keep saying, Steve, you're not ugly. You still have a lot of good things to offer somebody, Stop putting yourself down. And it's like, okay, well, why doesn't anybody ever come up to me of any interest, Why, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so like I said, Also, let's go back to what I said in the beginning of this video. This was a classic example. I wasn't going to do that publicly because I didn't want to embarrass her, but I also didn't want to be embarrassed. But I'm tired of not doing things I really want to do because I'm afraid of what other people will say or think, or that they're going to know I want to do them. There's a lot of times in my life that I have noticed, I think that the reason people don't express an interest in me is because they're either unavailable, so they shouldn't be, or maybe they're gay or something, and so that's not good. Or maybe they just think that they're going to be rejected, or I don't know, they're afraid of what other people may say or think if they date me or make it known that they're interested in me. I don't know. Maybe that's wishful thinking. But sometimes I see it in people, guys and girls around me. Some are friends for many years. Some are just people I just meet in passing. But you can kind of tell when somebody likes you, and here's how you know. Again, sometimes we don't do things that we really want to do because we're afraid that others will know that we want to do them. Prime example, and I do this. That's how you know I like you, is probably, because I do this myself. If there's, say, a girl that I like, and it's rare that I do, but if I see somebody I like, I might not talk to them, or not for very long. I might not make eye contact. I might not touch them, or shake their hand, or hug them, or whatever, because I don't want them to know that I really want to hug them, touch them, hold their hand, kiss them, date them, give them my number. Maybe I don't want other people to know that I'm feeling all these butterflies inside, Maybe I don't want to hear the guys ragging on me. Maybe I don't want to deal with rejection. Maybe I don't want someone saying, yeah, right, out of your league, Steve. Maybe I just don't want the negativity. I don't know. But there are times where there's somebody who does strike me as, well, you know what? I really want to give him my number, but I don't. And I let the opportunity pass, and I'll never know if something could have happened. Could have been there. Because I didn't, I was so worried about rejection that I didn't. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen at my age? They're going to say no. 9 out of 10 times they do. So, okay, then they're not the one for me. At least I know. But it's going to eat at me if I don't take the chance. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm telling you is, people, be bold and be prepared for the worst, but hope for the best. And don't let it eat you alive if, the person rejects you. So what? You don't want them to reject you later. You want to do it sooner than later. You don't want them to waste your time or hurt you or break your heart or cheat on you or something. So get it over with. Be bold. Go for what you want in life. And then if it doesn't work, good. Then but at least you know that you tried. You got to learn how to take rejection in life. I get it constantly. Trust me. It doesn't stop me anymore. And you know what? I'm wishing that I had known this wisdom when I was young and good looking, because I always thought I was ugly because people always put me down. And probably because they were jealous and I didn't see my worth. I could have had anyone or anything or any job when I was younger, and I never had a problem getting a date, getting a job, whatever. But I was never respected because I was too nice. If I had known the power and beauty of my youth and my looks at the time, I could have conquered things. I would have been Mr. Popular. I would have been a superstar, actor, or model, whatever. I just didn't see it in myself because people never told me. Now I look back at photos, and I know that beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but I'm like, wow, I really was good looking compared to what I am now. And darn, I wish somebody had let me know that instead of always put me down. And so now I'm just so used to putting myself down, especially 20 years later. So anyway, don't do that. Go for it. If you get rejected, oh well, move on. The right one will not reject you. So, and even with certain people, I'm not going to mention, but I know there's people in my life that like me. And, for example, okay, there's some closet case people, right, that I'm probably friends with, who I could sense it. I could sense that they are, and you want to know why I know? They're all hands-on with all the other guys, joking around, wrestling, shaking hands. They come up to each other, they greet each other with a big manly hug or a very tight hug. But then it's me, and it's just like, yeah, hi, Steve. And they walk away, but they look at you from across the room, and then they'll start, at a gathering or party, they'll start walking up to talk to you, but then all of a sudden they'll just decide to go and, change their mind at the last second and talk to somebody else. And it's like, I feel rejected all the time. I feel like, what? Do I stink? Do I have bad breath? What is it? Nobody likes me? Nobody wants to be seen talking to me? So maybe that's what it is. Maybe they don't want to be seen talking to me. Maybe I'm a loser and they don't want to be embarrassed or something if they, if people know that they like me or that they want to be friends with me or whatever, so they don't even socialize with me. Or maybe there's something deeper going on there. Maybe there's some kind of physical attraction or some gay attraction or something and whatever, and that's why they don't, because I'm telling you, there's something to this. They never touch me. There's certain guys in my life that will never hug me. Everybody else does. They don't think anything of it. It's normal. It's not gay. We're just normal bros, But the ones who are like afraid to be around me or afraid to shake my hand or afraid to touch me or afraid to hug me, either they're homophobic and afraid that I'm gonna, be gay or something, or they are hiding something. And the girls in my life too, like some of them have boyfriends or husbands, and those are the ones who will try not to be around me or touch me. And they've even told me, so I want to, but like I want to be friends with you and stuff, but my boyfriend will kill me or my husband will, have a fit or whatever. He's very possessive and jealous. He doesn't want me talking to you. Okay, so like I said, again, there's truth to this. Sometimes we don't do things that we really want to do. Like touch somebody, shake their hand, hug them, talk to them, get to know them, hang out with them, because we're afraid that others will know that we want to do it. So we don't. Okay? And it's just a shame that a lot of good friendships or maybe romantic relationships or marriages might not be coming to fruition because of insecurities like that, or because we're too worried about what others will say or think about us if we date that person or marry that person, or if we're friends with that person, or if we talk to that person in public, or if we do like that person, or maybe we're afraid of rejection. And so we don't want to be hurt or rejected. Or maybe we're afraid of, commitment and having our feelings exposed and then getting hurt. Who knows? But again, I'm going to end here because I got to get back to work. Sometimes we don't do things that we really want to do because we're afraid that others will know that we want to do them. Chew on that for a while. I know I'm onto something here.